nitrogen in the atmosphere? That just wait, sir. PPT will not open. Just gas cycle, that carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, and oxygen cycle. So in this topic, we'll discuss only one, that is the nitrogen cycle. Okay. So carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. These three cycles are undergoing to the gaseous cycles. Okay. So in that, the nitrogen that is converted between its various chemical forms through following steps. In that, nitrogen fixation, ammonification, ammonic fixation, nitrification, denitrification, and fifth one is the assimilation. So almost the content about, we will discuss that nitrogen in the atmosphere that is found in the gaseous form, and it is measures about 78.8 nano. So just in this regard, 78 only, 78.8% in value. So this elemental nitrogen that is not available to higher plants, but to certain prokaryotes like blue-green algae and some other bacteria, they can utilize it. So however, some higher plants, they can utilize the nitrogen only in different forms or different combined forms. So in that, the plants, they can take up nitrogen either as nitrates or ammonia. Due to thunderstorms and lightning, the gaseous nitrogen is converted into nitric oxide. So in the process of nitrogen cycle, nitrogen present in variety of forms. So in that, organic nitrogen, nitrous oxide, or inorganic nitrogen gas. So the process of the nitrogen cycle, it will transform nitrogen from one form to the another form. And next, the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen, so it is an essential for life. We know that, as it is the part of nucleic acids, amino acids, proteins, enzymes, and some coenzymes like NAD, NADP, FAD. So these all are some coenzymes. So it is also constant of the coenzymes. And some chromosomes, vitamins, and chlorophyll. So no doubt that nitrogen make up the greatest part of the atmosphere, but some green plants, almost all green plants, they can use little or no atmospheric nitrogen, means molecular nitrogen, N2 form nana. Okay, no atmospheric nitrogen in their synthesis. So in this way, the green plants.
Madam, is there any slides are here? Any slides are here?
So as I'm sharing, sir, nitrogen cycle, non-biological.
No, madam.
Oh.
Your slides are not visible, madam. Please use.
Sorry, sir. Just wait. Where? Okay, share screen. Now, okay, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. So this is the nitrogen cycle. Okay. Almost the nitrogen, 5 steps are there. Nitrogen fixation, ammonification, nitrification, denitrification, and assimilation. So in that, the process of nitrogen cycle, that means the major reservoir of nitrogen, that is atmosphere. So various steps involved in this cycle. First step is the nitrogen fixation. In this, atmospheric free nitrogen can convert into ammonia. Okay. So in the nitrogen fixation are of 2 types, non-biological and biological. These all are completed in broad way. So up to here. So non-biological also completed. Photochemical fixation or natural process. So in this, almost the dissociation of nitrogen molecule and its combination with oxygen and hydrogen of water provided by lightning. So whenever the lightning and thunderstorms will come in, almost the molecular nitrogen can convert into other combined forms, almost ammonium ion or ammonia, any other combination of nitrogen will observe So the high energy also required in this way. It is provided by cosmic radiation and meteorite trails. Almost ఉరుములు మెరుపులు వచ్చినప్పుడు మనకి అదంతా కూడా so the high energy also required in that way, it provided by the cosmic radiation. So in another way, industrial fixation, that means the man-made process. So in the man-made process, it means the Haber method of nitrogen preparation. So that means the fertilizers in various industries, we know that most chemical fertilizers are nitrates or ammonia. We'll observe in the almost different combinations of the fertilizer bags, urea 20-20 or 17-17-17, this different combination we'll observe in that way. So that means NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, in that nitrogen is very important. So you can observe whenever 46% of nitrogen is compulsory in, we will indicating in the bags. ఎప్పుడైనా మనకి ఫర్టిలైజర్ బ్యాగ్స్ కనుక తీసుకున్నట్టయితే 46% of nitrogen is in part of that composition. So that means the man-made process, the fertilizers in various industries, the most chemical fertilizers are nitrates or ammonia for agriculture field to yield crop, to increase the soil fertility. We will use that way. Okay. So biological nitrogen fixation, almost we'll discuss that. It carried out by certain bacteria, cyanobacteria and a few fungus. So nitrogen is fixed in the form of ammonia, ammonium salts or nitrates. So nitrogen fixing organisms are called diazotropes. This process is two type, symbiotic and non-symbiotic. No need to say here, almost we'll discuss in last classes. So symbiotic nitrogen, it is carried out by microorganisms. So symbiotic nitrogen fixation, in that best example is rhizobium bacteria that lives in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. And non-symbiotic, so it is carried out by microorganisms, that means free living bacteria in the soil. So bacillus, clostridium and aerobic forms, so that is azotobacter, blue-green algae, Nasta cannabis. And second step is the ammonification. Okay. So in the ammonification, almost some nitrogen fixing bacteria in the ammonification. So the organic matter converted into ammonia. Just I will search some equations also there. Okay. So sorry. Ammonification means it is organic matter converted to ammonia. So in this, the heterotrophic bacteria, some actinomycetes and fungus. Actinomycetes and fungi, they are the heterotrophic bacteria. The organic nitrogen means the inorganic form as ammonia, energy releasing the reaction. So in this, the nitrogen of green plants that's acquired for ammonia and nitrates in the soil, or they can from nitrogen fixing bacteria may be passed on to animals, so that eat plants, and then from animal to animal, that means meat eating animals. So we are also, that means non-veggers, omnivores. So they eat plants, they can then from the animal to animal. That is also nitrogen will come one to another. So nitrogen is excreted by animals in the form of urea and also is found in the dead bodies of organisms. So again, this is only the function of bacteria, which returns the locked up to molecular nitrogen to the cycle. So that is modification or conversion of the molecular nitrogen can ammonia. So some bacteria of decays and they can produce the ammonia, NH3, from proteins and other nitrogenous compounds. So some other bacteria, that means nitrifying bacteria. Okay, so they can oxidize ammonia to nitrates, and still other bacteria do further oxidation to the nitrates. So in such a way, inorganic nitrogen compounds, they are restored in the soil. That means directly consumable to the green plants. That is the nitrification. Ammonia or ammonium salts. So nitrites and nitrates. Ammonia is nitrate. They can convert the ammonia to the nitrites and nitrates. So this process is the nitrification. I'll show the cycle. Just to wait. This is the other cycle also there. This is completely the nitrogen cycle, Nana. So nitrogen in atmosphere, molecular nitrogen. So it will almost the second step, ammonification, ammonium ion, and third nitrification, and fourth denitrification, and fifth decomposition or assimilation. So fifth step is absent. Just this is the this is also other cycle of the nitrogen. Okay. So nitrifying bacteria oxidize the ammonia to nitrates, and still other bacteria further oxidation to the nitrates. So in such a way, inorganic nitrogen compounds, they are stored in the soil. Okay. So on the other hand, the facultative and anaerobic bacteria of the soil, that means denitrifying bacteria such as Pseudomonas. Pseudomonas is the denitrifying bacteria. So it will break down nitrates and do some other compounds, and they can liberate the nitrogen. After nitrogen is at least incorporated in plants as protoplasm and other etc. So it is converted into animal tissues, animal proteins. So when plants and animals die and their waste decay, the saprophytic microorganisms change the nitrogen back into the form of ammonia and other nitrogenous compounds. So and thus the cycle recommences almost it is the 5 steps. First is the just I'll put only first slide. This is the nitrogen fixation. That means the nitrogen cycle, transformation of atmospheric gaseous nitrogen by microbes and certain photosynthetic bacteria and blue-green algae into the combined form of NH4 plus ammonium salts or ammonium ion. Okay. So first N2 will converted into NH4 plus. This process is generally called that biological nitrogen fixation. And other way, so the NH4 plus is animals, almost it is the arising from decomposition and autolysis of all forms of the biological substances, or from the excreta of animals, or forms from products of the metabolism of the living soil organisms. So it will almost all will show into the NH4 plus form. So this process happens to take place by various microbes, which may be aerobics or anaerobics. So they break down the organic nitrogen compounds into the NH4 plus ions as a part of their metabolism or the formation of the NH4 plus ions. This may be due to the action of hydrolytic and oxidation enzymes will found in the microbe process. So just some slides are missing.